All right, so today we're going to go over the results from the Ludum Dare Jam. I'll show you where I placed, have some thoughts on jams in general. Dare Jam. Every time I do that, I'll gotta mute it. Gotta mute it. All right, so we get all set up here, and we are going. I believe. All right. Oh, there we go. All right, so I took place in the Ludum Dare 39 jam, and I'll show you where I came out. What happened? So my game, Zombie Power Station, on this channel, you may have seen me live streaming for 9 hours one day building this thing. Put my kind of like heart and soul into it. I love this game. Thought it was one of my best ones, but my results weren't so great. So it was 616th out of like 1300 some games. So I was about 45, 46 percentile. It was like dead in the middle. And what I thought was really interesting was if we go through and read all the comments, everyone said, "Oh, I love the sound, love the graphics," and so I was kind of hoping that I'd do pretty good in the sound and the graphics. I know the sounds were cheesy. I made them with my mouth and the microphone, but everyone seemed to like them. And then when the ratings came out, my graphics didn't do so great on those, which I thought they were okay. And then the audio did a little bit better, but I was like, what does this mean to me? You know, what is this? I'm halfway in the field of everyone who competed, like right in the middle. I think to me it means that I have done enough game jams, done enough game development, enough prototypes, enough filling out of the different game engines, that I can start building something substantial. In last stream, I talked about building something, putting it out on Steam by the end of next year. And I have a game in mind. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm not going to talk about it yet until I have something a little bit further along. You know, I can show you guys that. But I think I want to stop with the game jams. Not that game jams are bad. I just think I need to stop building all these small, 48-hour prototypes and these, rush, sloppy games, just make it work kind of thing. I want to build something substantial, something maintainable, something expandable, and something that can be very large without being a mess of code. And so I started looking around for a UML tool for modeling classes and polymorphism and hierarchy and stuff like that. I really didn't find anything for free. I know there's some good paid tools out there. I didn't find anything for free that I really liked. I thought, well, I could build something of my own, build my UML model my classes, and like a game object, and then a player is a game object, a bad guy is a game object, sort of that hierarchy of classes. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to actually show you where I'm at with my UML tool that I'm starting to work on. Kind of just wanted to show you my results, be open about it. I didn't do so great. Everyone thought my game was funny, which was cool. Scored pretty good there. But honestly, like, I didn't have enough time to rate a whole bunch of games, give a whole bunch of feedback. So I didn't get that coolness score for Ludum Dare. that moved my game to the front so more people can see it. I think that's kind of a problem. Like, I have enough time to do a game jam, but I don't have enough time for like the 2 weeks after to just play games and rate them and, you know, like boost my game out there. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna go a little slower. We'll build something more substantial, something I can work on 1 or 2 hours a night, and really plan out. Part of that planning is the UML tool that I'm working on. So I'm actually going to build the UML tool in Godot, and I'm going to use it for my game that I'm building in Unity. And the reason why I'm doing that seems kind of silly, right? But the reason why I'm doing it is because the UML tool has these really cool nodes called what are they? Graph edit and graph nodes. And they're almost exactly what I need to build my UML tool. So let me show you. I'll add in some graph node classes here. Oops. Gotta have a parent. Put in a couple of these. And then I'll just kind of show you what the tool does so far. So already out of the box, what I have is I have this canvas that I can pan around. I can zoom out, zoom in. This is how far I've gotten so far. I have the 3 graph nodes. I can connect them with lines already, move them around, and that all works. So these graph nodes are part of Unity, and this graph edit panel is not part of Unity, I'm sorry, it's part of Godot. And this graph edit is part of Godot as well, built-in nodes, and I've just hooked up the code to make it work. So it's fairly simple so far. What I need to do is add a menu across the top for adding more classes, and adding more properties to the classes, so on. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I think I'm going to make a properties panel, sort of like in Godot already, but a properties panel, and then as you click on these, their properties show up over here that you can edit. And then you could also add new class graph edit nodes. That's what I want to do. Oh yeah, I already have it resizing too. So to resize, you have the scroll bars here. You can go full screen. Do that. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to have an overlay, like a UI layer, and then I'm going to put in input fields for it. And what I'm going to start with is just the class name. If you see, change my tool here. Oh, not that one. I don't want to rotate them. See how it says vehicle class? These all just say vehicle class. But I want you to be able to change that name. If I could get that working tonight in a little properties panel, sort of like this, little inspector over here, I'll be pretty happy. So to start, what I'll do is I'll actually delete the 2 of those. Don't really need them. I could just use the 1 here. And I will add a node. This will be a canvas layer. This is going to be inspector panel. No, this is the inspector. Let's see. What do we want to call this? This is for all the GUI. This will be for the menu up top, everything. And then what I'm going to do is add a child node, and then this will be a panel here, panel. This will be the inspector panel. And so let's move this puppy. I'm actually going to lock the graph edit and the graph node, so I can't even mess with them. That way I can use. Yeah, how come that didn't work? Them locked. Anyway. So I think that will probably be good. What I don't have is it's not sticking to the side here. As I expand it, it's not moving over. I'm going to have to implement that. The inspector panel, anchor. If that works. I don't think that's going to do what. Oh, kind of. Look at that. Just stretched it. And I think if I put these all to end, it will stay the same size. Just move over. Oh, it didn't top. Top. That. Now I think we're good. So the panel stayed and has about the same ratio. Things will move behind it, so I will have to make this gap right here perfect, just so you don't see that. But we're getting closer. Let me zoom in. Yeah, perfect. I think I'll do the same on the top. Let's see. Sorry, my phone's going crazy. And do the same for the bottom. So what I should have, the panel's full size now. You can still see the stuff behind the panel just a little bit. Not too worried about that for now. Then when I expand it to full screen mode, panel stretches vertically but doesn't change its width horizontally. And that's what I want. So even if I zoom out, zoom way in, I think we're cool. All right, so save that already because that's working pretty good. And now, inside the inspector panel, I am going to add a node, and this will be text input. Is there text input? Text edit. I believe that's what I want. And we are going to change its size because that's incredibly small. I missed it. Misclicked. And we're going to move it down. Oops, come on. See what this looks like. I haven't ever actually used this. So this will be a class name. Okay, and so that will, in theory, whatever's in here will be what the selected class's name. So now I need to figure out, like, on selection of this guy, how to populate this. I'm going to probably do that through signals. So, me still kind of want to mess with the sizing of this because it looks funny. And so it can do multi-line. I don't want it to do multi-line. Such. And I will move it down a little bit. And put a real text or put a real label there. This will be a label. Going to have the value of class name. And like everything to begin with capitals in my UI, personal preference. I think I'm going to bring this in. Give it a little bit of padding. Let's see what happens when since it is a child of that panel, it moves along with the panel, which is perfect, which is exactly what I was hoping it would do. It seems like that's what it is doing. So that's cool, right? So now I have my class name, and then I'm hoping that when I select this here, this will change. And if you change this, it will change this name. So now I have to wire that code up. That will be on a graph node here. Oops. And I believe it's going to be, let's see, graph node, inner, roll, enter. Maybe it will be on the graph edit itself. Nope. I think it's going to be on the graph node and it'll be in the graph node script. Let's see what focus enter means. And it will be on the graph node itself. Graph node, I'm going to take off this number, focus enter. And I'm just going to print you clicked me. I don't know. I'm hoping that that will actually be the signal I need. Does not look like that was a signal because this didn't seem to have fired at all. Go back to the graph node, focus enter, input event. Let's look it up. Godot control on focus enter. Let's see what it says. Focus mode turns the focus access wanted. And keyboard focus is in. Let's see. Godot. How to check out the graph nodes thing here. The get title is what I'll use populate. Raise request sent when graph node is requested to display over other ones. Happens when focusing, clicking into. See, raise request is what I needed. Alrighty. So actually my code, this whole thing right here can just get bloop, bloop, deleted. We are going to disconnect this. Raise request is going to be darn it. Okay. I'm actually going to connect manually in the script, so I don't have to do this every time a node is added. I'm going to say connect raise request self and on request that. I'm going to go here and I'm going to disconnect this. But in the script, I'll be connecting to it. So print I am selected. We run this thing. So if I select this, boom, I am selected. That. Boom. Okay, cool, we're getting there. Now we need to get this graph node's text for its name. So var name equals self dot get name. Get name. Print name. So if this works, it should say, let's say graph node 3. What I want is this name, this vehicle class name. That is set. Where is that set? The inspector title. So I need to use get title instead. So get title. So now it should say vehicle class, and it does. Sweet. What I will need to do is let's see. How am I going to pass that to my UI text edit? I'm actually going to change the name of this too, because that's not good. I want it to be class name text edit. All right, so somehow I need to pass whatever is selected over to here. So do I guess I'm going to throw a signal. This graph edit will have a signal. Node selected like that. That actually. Then what I'm going to do is emit signal, and then node selected. Oh, and I need to pass something. first variable will be self. So I'm going to say node is selected, and this is the one that's selected. I'm going to pass myself. Now in my inspector panel, I need to add a script. Here, new script. Call scripts slash. I'm gonna be real fancy with my name. Inspector panel GD. Right, and then this one, hoping I can connect. But I can connect to that signal. Connect to signal node selected self, and the method is no on node. Whoop. That function this is actually going to be a scene. We'll just call it a node. And print. Why is that freaking out? Okay. The reason? Because it doesn't know. Node dot get title. I think that's all I need to do. Go back to my graph node. Let me turn off this printing. Actually, all this. So all this is going to do is emit the signal. In here, I'm going to print signal received, or whatever. I don't know. I'm tired. All right. Let's see if this works. So it didn't receive the signal. I think I know why. I think it's because this node selected signal is a signal over here. What I think I need to do is create a singleton that loads when the game loads. Well, it's not really a game, it's going to be a program actually, but it loads and it has like all the constants and a list of all the signals. That way all the other game objects connect to those signals. So I'm actually going to take this signal and I'm going to move it somewhere else. I'm going to say file, new, and I want to make a new script. So scripts, I'm going to call this main GD. So in this main GD, this is where that signal will reside. To make this that loading singleton though, I need to go to project settings, do auto load, and then I'm gonna load scripts main GD. And I'm going to add it. And so now this signal should be available to everywhere. So this graph node can emit the signal, and this inspector panel should be able to connect to the signal. I'm thinking that's going to work. We're about to find out. Doesn't seem like it worked, but I think that's because it needs to be main.nodes selected when I connect, and when I throw it, I need to say main.node selected. I think that's how it is. Still didn't work. what do I do? Really hoping that would do it. I want to make sure I named them correctly. Didn't have any typos. Seems like it's working. Huh. So we get another scene. Let's see. We're learning together. Wait. Okay. Signals. Desire to send a notification that something has happened in an instant. GDScript supports creation of built-in Godot signals. Declaring signal in GDScript is using the signal. Okay, we got that. Signal with arguments, so that's cool. From code. Take an instance of the class where the signal is declared. I'm going to connect it to a method in another instance. So I actually have to have an instance. That's a bummer. Didn't want to have an instance. So there is a cheesy way that we could do this. Well, it's not cheesy, but it's different than what I was trying to do. Let me get rid of all this code here. Sometimes when you're programming, you just have to realize that you're going to write something. You may just completely delete it. It happens. So what I might do is do var selected node No, I don't want to do that either. That's kind of a bummer. Maybe from the nodes themselves. I think that's what I'll do. Okay, from the nodes themselves, on ready, I am going to connect. So connect to request presenting signal raise request. Okay. Raise request. Connect it to myself and to the function on graph node raise request. All right. So we need to make a function that this no parameters really. This node is going to have to know about the inspector panel. And so, kind of cheesy, but the inspector panel is always going to exist. These graph nodes may or may not exist. So if you're going to do this coupling, you want to couple from something that may not exist to something that you know will always exist, like the UI. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So on ready bar, this is going to be inspector panel equals get node, and it's going to be the path to the inspector panel. So this will be I believe this will be UI slash inspector panel, like that. And then inside here, I'll say print inspector panel size gets. Come on, doesn't have get size. Get type, just to make sure that when it's clicked, I can see that I have a reference to the inspector. Null instance. I got that wrong. Maybe it's like this. I have to remember null instance. One second. Godot get node. Figure out how to tell where the base. So it's root. Looks like I was missing. Root lowercase or capital? Maybe that'll work. me search the docs real quick. Get node. I'm trying to figure out how to get the base. Say starting from the base. I thought that worked. Do I have to say graph edit? That. Oh, no instant. Okay, so maybe what I need to do real quick. Let me open up one of my other projects. The one I just did. I got nodes all the time in this. So let's see if I did that. Bud. Ah. No, it's preloading. But that's not working in my other one. So really, maybe I have to do git root. Yes. See. Well, I didn't even play at all. Sorry guys, I'm having a hard time getting the null. Why can't I get the inspector panel? Is it seriously because it's not a child? If I did that, would that work? That's exactly why. Okay, that's not how I want it to be, so I need to say get parent. Get parent dot. There we go. Sorry that took so long. I hadn't ever got a node from a sibling before. So inspector panel dot get so I have the inspector panel at this point. From the inspector panel, I can call functions. And then in the inspector panel script, I'm going to call this function. And then this is going to be self. I'm going to pass myself to it. right? So the inspector panel, get node, print node get title. So now when I click this, we should see it say vehicle class down here, and it does. Now what I need to do is take that vehicle class, stick it up here. So inspector panel has a class name text edit. So on ready, var class name text edit. And yes, I do write very long variable names. I find that helps in debugging later. You're like, what the heck is this class name? Is it the actual name of the class or what? So I'm going to say it's a class name text edit field. Just makes it a little bit easier for me. And so in here, I'm going to say when it's selected, the class name text edit. I think I can say set the value of that set text, and it is going to be node.getTitle. So all works out right. As soon as I click this, we should see it say vehicle class over here, and boom, it does. Pretty cool, huh? What I want to do is I want to store a local variable for the node that's selected. And on that, from that local variable, if I change this, I want to update that local variable, which is really a pointer back to the selected node. So var cur node be none. So then in here I say cur node equals the node that was passed in. And I can say here cur node title. And you really won't see much difference in the way it works. But now if I change this, I want to be able to put that value right back here. And so class name text edit should have a signal when it's changed. Or change, text change. So when this thing changes, and I can bind this one through the UI because this hierarchy is not going to change. It's not dynamic. So we'll go to the inspector panel because that's where the script is. On class name text edit change, text changed. Man, that's wordy. Cur node dot set title. And I'm going to say it is the class name text edit dot get text. Hopefully this will be a two-way binding. And yay, it is cool. This is my class. Boom. Oh, no return. Isn't that cool? So I have this two-way binding for this guy for its class. Very cool. Very sort of simple, I guess. What I need to do now is just to make sure that it works. I'm gonna manually add some more graph nodes to the graph edit here, just so I can have more than one to play with. And I can show you how the flow would work. Later I'll actually work on adding these dynamically with a button. But so, vehicle class, that's cool. Well, this one's a car. Oops, I gotta remember not to hit return. This one is a truck. So, car inherits from vehicle class, truck inherits from vehicle class. It's that much. Jamie says that the binding is too simple, but it's awesome, and it's actually pretty cool. I mean, this is sort of a full-fledged application. I mean, a lot of people think of game engines for just creating games, but you really can create full-on applications. You just have to kind of think about it a little bit differently. You know, try to think of it as event driven. That's kind of why I chose Godot for this. Maybe Unity does it very well, and I don't know how, but Godot with its signals is very event driven and very much like a modern programming language for business applications. And so that's why I kind of chose it for this desktop type application. Let's rerun that again, and let's change these class names up. Let me make this full screen here. What else could we do? We could say, I don't know, this is a animal. This is a human. Human's an animal, right? And then this one could be what type of human? It's a male human. So, very cool. Of course, humans don't have, well, I guess they do have top speeds, but it's kind of funny. That's going to be later on. So I have my class name working, this binding working. Later I'll have their properties list right here, and I'll be able to change their properties, just like I did with their class titles. It's pretty cool. Let's see, I got 5 more minutes. I wonder if in 5 minutes, if I can spawn these things, if I can get that working, or I can say, maybe put a little button right here that says new class. Let's see if I can just spawn a new. Let's see. Stop talking. Let's see. Make it happen. So my GUI is going to have the button, but the graph edit, we want all the graph nodes to be a child of, we want all the graph nodes to be a child of the graph edit. But the UI is going to have the button. So the UI needs to know about its parent, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that because that won't change. Graph edit. It's actually just going to be get parent. Pretty simple there. In the graph edit script, I will make a function function on create graph node. Okay, and we're going to preload. We need to say preload. Forgot the syntax for that real quick. Hang on. This is one of the problems with working with tons of different editors. Sometimes the syntax is different. So HUD, player. It's actually already var equals preload scene. So already var, and this will be a graph node equals pre resources scenes going to be graph node.tsn. That look right? Does. So var new node equals instant graph node that, and then since I am in the graph edit, I can just say add child new node like that. And so now all I need to do is in my GUI here, go back to the GUI scene and see where we want to put the button. I'm probably just going to put the button right here for now because I am out of time. I am going to put it in the inspector panel. No, I'm not. That's not going to be part of the inspector panel. I may make a menu across the top later, so I'm just going to put it in the GUI. It'll probably change later, but I'm running out of time, and I want to get this to work. So button, this is going to be new class button. New class button. All right, zoom in. Let's. Come on. Here. Let's change its size because it's got to be bigger than this. And we're going to say, I have text. New class. New class. I guess I'm going to say panel. I need to add a new child to the GUI. And it's going to be the menu panel. Menu panel. Button's going to be a child of that. Menu panel itself will be from right here. Oh, I'm gonna have to move the button because the button just went flying. Actually, here. I'm making this up as I'm going right now. And the button itself be inside of it. Just needed something to put the script on. Panels are really cool for resizing too, so I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Just to get going. This is gonna have a script. Scripts menu.gd. Great. Cool. That's all I needed. The button itself is going to have a signal, button pressed. We're going to connect that to the menu panel itself. On new class, button pressed. Perfect. Sounds great, right? The panel will have to have a reference to its parent. Actually, put that in here. It's not actually going to be in the inspector panel. It's going to be in the menu. That's cool. That's fine. Right there. And when this is pressed, we're going to say graph edit dot, and we're actually going to call this function here. And I believe that is it. We will see. Move these out of the way. I think it's going to spawn up in that corner, or it's going to blow up. Non-existent fall on create graph node in base canvas. Oh. Since they actually got this parent, it didn't get the root. It's okay. So we're actually going to say get tree, get root. I think that'll work. Refresh that thing. Alright, let's move these out of the way. I should delete those. Went too far. Oh, come on. So close, but so far away. I think a tree might be it, because that's actually where the tree starts. Nope, scene tree. Tree get, maybe I say get tree dot get node. Oops, caps lock's on. And then that could be graph. Edit. We'll see. Get tree dot get root dot get node. All right. Traversing the tree is always kind of tricky, but boom, there it is. This will be vehicle class. That's fine. We'll add another node. This one will be a car. Gotta stop hitting return when I make these things. This one will be a truck. Right, and this one could be sports car. Whatever, just to kind of show you, my menu didn't stretch, but that's okay. I'll work on that later. Just to show you the kind of thing I'm going for. So I've already sort of built this UML thing. It's working. I just got to keep on flushing out these new classes. Inside the class, like right now, I have no way to disconnect these lines once I make their connections. I need to figure that out. I need to be able to delete classes. I need to also have a way to iterate through all of the properties and show them over here in a list. So there is some stuff to go. By far not anywhere near done, but I am pretty far along for only been working on this for a couple of hours. I maybe have 2 hours into this total so far. That's the one thing I found in Godot. I'm really fast at like prototyping things. One of my favorite parts about Godot is that and the very Python-like language. Pretty cool. I'm actually going to really quick try to put this menu panel underneath the zooming in and out controls and see what it looks like. I know I'm over my hour-long stream, but hey, when you're having fun, you're having fun. And it looks like it will actually cover that up, which is a bummer. It does cover that up. Maybe I'll just do this panel, just like before. The left is at the beginning, the top will be at the beginning, right will be at the end. I think that will work. When I expand this, this should expand with it, and it does. The button now, let's see if I can do something about the button. Looks good. So left is actually at the end. And I think what that'll do, it'll keep it right next to the, should keep it relative to the class name here. We should see. Yep, button moves over, boom, cool. So I think that's as far as I'm gonna go today. Thanks for joining me. I know I haven't fully fleshed this thing out. I'll probably be working on this for the next couple of streams until I fully flush out the game I'm going to be working on publishing. Stay tuned for that. Can't believe that worked. That's so cool. Anyway, thanks for joining. I will catch you next time. Hopefully, I stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time right now. Because yes, we do daylight time savings crap. And cool. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you around. You can catch me on Twitter at Chomper. Yeah, cool. Thanks for being connected. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you next Wednesday, hopefully. Thanks.